You're chasing women who don't want you, texting first, planning dates, working hard to keep their interest. Meanwhile, other men barely lift a finger and women pursue them relentlessly. What's the difference? It's not looks, it's not money, it's not luck, it's understanding one fundamental principle that changes everything. Women chase what moves away from them and take for granted what chases them. This isn't cynical, it's human psychology. We all value what's scarce and dismiss what's abundant. We pursue what seems just beyond reach and ignore what's freely available. The ancient Stoics understood human nature at this fundamental level. Marcus Aurelius didn't chase approval from senators or citizens. He focused entirely on his own virtue and mission. This made people chase his approval instead. Today, you're learning the exact mindset and behaviors that make women chase you instead of you chasing them. Not manipulation, not games, genuine character development that naturally creates pursuit. Let's break down exactly what this looks like. The foundation is building a life so compelling that female attention becomes secondary, not primary. This is where 99% of men fail. They make getting women their main goal. Everything else becomes a means to that end. Work is just to make money to impress women. Gym is just to look good for women. Hobbies are just to seem interesting to women. This desperation radiates. Women sense when they're your primary focus, and it repels them instantly. But the man whose primary focus is his mission, who's building a business, mastering a craft, pursuing excellence in his field, creating something meaningful, that man becomes magnetic because his purpose creates natural scarcity. He doesn't have unlimited time for women because he's committed to something larger. His attention becomes valuable because it's genuinely limited. Epictetus taught about focusing only on what's within your control. Your mission is within your control. Her interest isn't. Pour your energy into your mission, and interest follows naturally. This isn't theory. This is observable reality. Think about the men women chase. They're usually intensely focused on something beyond female attention. That focus creates the attraction. Here's your first action. Identify your mission. Not a job, not a hobby, your life's work. What are you building that will outlast you? What excellence are you pursuing? What contribution are you making? If you can't answer immediately, find it. Everything else depends on this foundation. The second element is emotional self-sufficiency that eliminates neediness. Needy men repel women like poison repels prey, and neediness comes from requiring external validation for internal worth. You need her to text back quickly to feel good about yourself. You need her to agree to dates to feel valuable. You need her approval to feel confident. You need her interest to feel attractive. This need is toxic to attraction. It makes her the source of your emotional state. That's a burden no one wants to carry. But the man who's emotionally self-sufficient, who feels good about himself, regardless of her response, who's confident whether she's interested or not, that man is magnetic because he requires nothing from her. Seneca wrote about internal versus external sources of happiness. The person dependent on externals is always unstable. The person with internal happiness is unshakable. Build this internal stability deliberately. Your worth isn't determined by her response. Your value doesn't fluctuate based on her interest. Your mood doesn't depend on her text messages. This isn't faking indifference. It's genuine outcome independence developed through having real sources of fulfillment beyond female attention. Practice this. Before every interaction, remind yourself, I'm completely fine whether this works or not. Feel the truth of that statement. Then interact from that centered place. The third element is maintaining mystery and unpredictability. The completely predictable man becomes boring. She knows exactly how he'll respond to everything, what he'll say, how he'll react, where he'll be. There's no mystery left to explore. But the slightly unpredictable man remains intriguing. She's not quite sure what he'll do next. He has layers she's still discovering. He surprises her occasionally. This doesn't mean being inconsistent or unreliable. It means having enough depth and complexity that she's continually discovering new aspects of who you are. You're not an open book that reveals everything on page 1. You're a novel that unfolds gradually, revealing depth over time. Marcus Aurelius had such depth of character that people continually discovered new dimensions of his personality. This made him endlessly fascinating. How do you create this? By actually having depth. Read widely, think deeply, develop varied interests, have complex opinions, be multidimensional rather than one-dimensional. Don't share everything immediately. Reveal yourself gradually. As she demonstrates, she deserves deeper access. The fourth element is strategic scarcity through genuine priorities. You're not always available, not because you're playing games, because you genuinely have other priorities that matter as much or more than dating. She wants to see you Wednesday. You have plans. She texts constantly. You respond when convenient, not immediately. She suggests last-minute hangouts. You're already committed to other things. This scarcity creates value. The man who's always available signals he has nothing better to do. The man with limited availability signals he's valuable to others. But this scarcity must be authentic. If you're pretending to be busy while sitting home alone, she'll sense the manipulation. Fill your life with meaningful activities. Friends, hobbies, goals, projects. Make your schedule genuinely full so your time becomes genuinely scarce. The Stoics believed in purposeful living. Every hour should be invested in something meaningful. This creates natural scarcity that makes your attention valuable. The fifth element is maintaining frame and boundaries consistently. Frame is your reality, your perspective, your standards. Strong frame means you don't adapt to her every mood or demand. She adapts to your leadership. She's moody. You remain centered. She cancels last minute. You enforce consequences. She tests your boundaries. You maintain them calmly. Every time you hold frame, you build attraction. Every time you break frame, you lose it. Most men have weak frame. They scramble to accommodate. They change themselves based on her reactions. They violate their own boundaries to keep her happy. This flexibility seems nice but reads as weakness, and weakness kills attraction. The man with strong frame is unmovable on important things. His standards are his standards. His values are his values. She can accept them or not, but he's not changing them for anyone. This isn't about being rigid or controlling. It's about being solid in who you are and what you stand for. Marcus Aurelius maintained his principles against enormous pressure. This unwavering frame made him naturally attractive as a leader. The sixth element is showing interest without showing desperation. There's a crucial difference between interested and desperate. Interest says, I think you're attractive and worth pursuing. Desperation says, I need you to validate my worth. You can show clear interest through asking her out, planning dates, and expressing attraction. But you don't chase, you don't double text, you don't get anxious when she's slow to respond. You're interested, but you're fine if it doesn't work. This balance is magnetic because it shows confidence and self-sufficiency. Most men swing between extremes, either completely disinterested, which seems cold, or desperately interested, which seems needy. Neither works. The attractive middle ground is clear interest without emotional desperation. I'd enjoy spending time with you, but I'm completely fine either way. The seventh element is social proof through genuine high value. Women pay attention to how others treat you. If other people value you, she wonders what they see. If women show interest in you, she wants to understand why. If you have respect from men, she's intrigued. This social proof can't be faked. It must come from genuine value. You're good at something, you've accomplished things, you have strong friendships, you contribute value to your community. When she sees others responding positively to you, it triggers her own interest. She wants what others value. Build this through genuine excellence. Be exceptional at your craft. Develop real skills. Build authentic relationships. Create tangible value. The eighth and most powerful element is the willingness to walk away. This is the ultimate power move. If you cannot walk away, you have no power in the relationship. You'll accept anything rather than lose her. But if you're genuinely willing to walk away from behavior that doesn't meet your standards, from situations that don't serve you, from people who don't value you appropriately, you become instantly more attractive. This isn't a threat or manipulation, it's genuine self-respect. You know what you deserve. You're willing to be alone rather than accept less. This willingness creates a paradox. It makes her less likely to want to lose you. Because she knows you're not desperate. You're choosing to be there, which means she has to earn and keep that choice. Epictetus taught about not being attached to what we can't control. You can't control her interest or behavior, but you can control your standards and willingness to walk away when they're not met. Here's how all these elements work together. Your compelling life creates natural scarcity. Your emotional self-sufficiency eliminates neediness. Your mystery keeps her intrigued. Your strategic scarcity makes your time valuable. Your strong frame maintains respect. Your balanced interest shows confidence. Your social proof validates your value. Your willingness to walk away gives you power. This combination makes chasing unnecessary. She chases you because you've become genuinely valuable, scarce, and independent. But critical point, this only works if it's authentic. If you're performing these behaviors as techniques, while desperately hoping she chases you, the neediness leaks through. Women's psychological radar detects inauthenticity instantly. These must become who you actually are, not strategies you deploy. Real character traits developed through genuine growth. The Stoics didn't teach performance, they taught character transformation. Become the kind of man these traits naturally describe. Here's your practical implementation roadmap. Build your mission. Identify meaningful work that excites you beyond relationships. Pour primary energy there. Develop emotional self-sufficiency. Build internal worth that doesn't depend on external validation. Feel good about yourself regardless of her response. Create genuine depth. Read widely. Think deeply. Develop varied interests that make you multidimensional. Fill your schedule. Commit to friends, hobbies, goals, and projects that make your time genuinely scarce. Strengthen your frame. Know your values and boundaries. Maintain them consistently, regardless of her reactions. Balance interest with independence. Show clear interest but maintain outcome independence. Build genuine value. Excel at something. Accomplish things, develop skills. Create authentic social proof. Practice walking away from situations that don't meet your standards. Build this muscle through consistent enforcement. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. Real character development takes consistent practice over months, but every day you work on these elements, you become slightly more attractive. The compound effect is extraordinary. Remember, the goal isn't to make every woman chase you. The goal is to become the kind of man high-quality women naturally pursue. Women don't chase men who chase them. They chase men who are moving towards something more compelling than female attention. If you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting through authentic character development, comment below, "I am the prize." Remember, the most attractive men aren't chasing anyone. They're too busy building themselves into someone worth chasing. Be that man.